Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Meeple Circus is a dexterity game about building a circus, but you're going to be drafting different cards in order to get certain components, and you put those components the best way you can in order to score victory points, all under a time constraint that the other players are playing at the same time. And it has the little app with the circus music, and it all comes together in a really good package. And this is a beautiful game. If you're looking for one of these dexterity games, Flick 'em Up or maybe Meeple Circus are the two most beautiful games you're going to see. And I would say Meeple Circus is the most beautiful version of these flicking games. You have a whole bunch of different pieces and the meeples that are piling on, animals, and there are a ton of expansions for this, so it can grow and grow and grow as you go out. Well, Flick 'em Up is more of a flicking game. This is going to fall into more of a stacking game, and it will give you a lot of dexterity. And there are some rules you can do to make it a little bit easier for children, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I think kids might be able to beat adults at this, and it seems like it happens quite a bit in our family. This is a fun experience. Now, you can't take it too seriously, and there are some rules in the third round that silly things up, like you have to clap your hands between posting things. You can take or leave those as far as I'm concerned. I think there are more belly laughs, or maybe make it a little bit easier on the children somehow. You can nerf this game pretty well. So, honestly, one of my top 5, maybe my favorite dexterity game of all time. Meeple Circus is really good. The theme works with it. The components are fantastic. The look of the game is wonderful. It really brings you into that circus atmosphere. The dexterity of it is fun. It's not just stacking the highest. It's not just, stack something and hope it doesn't Google over. There's some strategy into what you go after. You might not be able to do it all, so you might want to do this, or this is a little bit easier for you to do. Not everybody's going to have the same components because you've been drafting different things, and that is really fun. So Meeple Circus is by far one of the dexterity games I highly recommend. And quite frankly, if you're going to have one dexterity game in your collection, I'd be hard-pressed to tell you to take something over Meeple Circus. I think that highly of it. Excellent version of the game. Meeple Circus is a winner, and it's a keeper. Here is Meeple Circus by Madagot Games. You can see it's a very striking cover of the circus there, etc. that you're going to have there. You're going to have a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes, but let's check out the components really quickly. You're going to have some stickers where you can sticker things yourself. I'm not a huge fan of that. Wish it would have come silk screened. You're going to have your victory point chart that you will utilize here, but very good circus look to it. You'll use this as a marker to do the red meeples when you score those. There's 3 scoring little cheat sheets that'll be out for everybody to look at. There's only one set, not one per player, but one set. Then you have little ovals that you'll build on, etc. These are pretty neat. Then you have an assortment of meeples. These are really cool. You're going to have horse meeples and animal meeples and all kinds of neat stuff in here. So you're going to see horses and elephants and people. And you have special people that I've stickered myself, like the strongman. And there's some really neat stuff that you'll see in the regular meeples. And you're going to have pieces of wood, etc. So a lot of neat stuff in here. You have these cards. You're going to have 3 types of cards. They're a little thin. I would have liked to have seen these been tiles. They feel like business cards, kind of like cheapo business cards. And then you will have these tiles here that you'll be utilizing through the game for the components. They all have nice pictures on them. These are really good quality. The only thing I don't like, I like everything about the components. The only thing I don't like are these cards. I wish those would have been nicer. But you have a lot of these to kind of play with as you go through the game. And the little markers here, these are nice little cardboard, and you're going to have some cards in here. These all have a nice linen finish to them. Very nice. And I think the insert is nice. I mean, the way everything kind of fits in, I think fits the game pretty well. Excellent components. No complaints here, other than these, I wish they were tiles. So here's the rule book. You can see a picture of the components over here and a picture with setup with numbers going where it goes. Excellent. Like this quite a bit. There's also a QR code if you want to find the rules online. You're going to have a picture of what you're doing with how to play through here. Each of the rounds are pretty much the same, except for little tweaks that'll be in here when you're going through, but it walks you through plenty of pictures and examples. Now, when you go through the second and third round, they're only going to give you the additional rules. The change you're going to have is very fun. And then a little expansion that comes with it here is on the side. Excellent rulebook. It's full color. It's got pictures of everything, examples included. It's not a difficult game to understand. The scoring is very easy. Yeah, pictures. I mean, this is a beautiful rulebook. Great job by Madagot. So each round, you're going to have a number of component tiles that will be out, and a number of these cards that you'll be drafting as you go through. In each round, there'll be different ones that you can kind of go through and experience. What you're going to do on a turn is you could take either one of these, or you can take one of these in player order. So let's say I took one of these, then I would grab the resource, a purple and a red, then everybody else would pick, and then when we go back through the snake draft, you would take whatever you didn't take the first time. So maybe I would take one of these cards, and that would give me the resources that are on that. I would take the horse, and I would take a yellow. And I would have what I need in order to play that round. Also, when you start the game, you're going to have a yellow and a blue just to kind of start the game out. Also, during the game, during setup, you're going to have a number of these cards up. And these will tell you how you'll score points. So, let's say in this phase, we're going to be doing, you're going to be timed in the second phase. After you get all these tiles and you've chosen what you're going to have, you're going to have so much time to put these through. There'll be a song on through the app, and you'll place this. But let's just say you had an elephant, and you were able to successfully do that, you would gain 2 points at the end of the round. If I had a meeple, and he was upside down, and he had the green thing on him, if I was able to do that, I would get points. So this will tell you how you will score points during the round. That's one way you can score points. You're also going to score points for each blue that is touching the ground. You score a point for every yellow not touching the ground. And then as you kind of get these higher up, let's say I got something like this, with the reds, when you're done, you're going to score points based on this handy-dandy thing here. So you're going to see how tall it is. And however tall it is will give you that many victory points. It's very easy to do. So blues, point if it's touching the ground. Yellow, if it's not touching the ground, you get a point. And red, you'll use the measuring tool to see how tall it is. You want to get the reds as high as possible without falling, of course. So you're going to have a certain amount of time in order to build whatever you're going to build. And then you'll take, the first person done will get the 2 speed dial token, and the second person done will get the 1. Anybody not done after that won't get any of these extra victory points for the round. But when the music stops, you have to stop immediately. And then you'll score it based on the cards that are out and the factions that I told you about. Now, you're going to play 3 rounds of this. In the second round, you're going to draft one of these. And this will just give you like a special duty guy who will do different things. So they had a tightrope artist. And these are double-sided that you can see, but they're worth an amount of points if you're able to utilize these. So these will come out in round 2. In round 3, these will come out, and these will be, in round 3, do things a little bit different. Everybody will do their building one at a time. Whoever's last in points will go first. They'll do stuff like sing the music without interruptions. You have to sing while you're doing it. If you're able to accomplish that, you get 5 points. Clap your hands each time a component is placed. Pinch your nose and say honk honk each time an acrobat is placed. These will just have you doing silly things during round 3, which is the final performance. Once you get through all rounds, whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. The main thing of the game is going to be drafting what components you're going to use. It's going to be a strategic element of the game. After you draft that, you're going to have a real-time dexterity where you can put these and kind of stack these however you want, whatever's going to maximize the points. And these cards, these scoring, these public demands will change as the game goes. Each round, one card will change. So you'll be kind of filling with the same components, and you'll get more and more of these components as you draft more and more each round. So your circus will get bigger and bigger. But that's really all there is to Meeple Circus, and that's how you play it. Who should buy this game? You're going to have to like the stacking dexterity type games, but to have a well-rounded collection, you're going to have one of these in your collection, more than likely. And I would say Meeple Circus is the place to stay and start with, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You can play with a lot of different people, families, gamers, new gamers, old gamers, people who've been in the industry a long time. Meeple Circus is what's going to go over with a lot of different people. And the circus theme is really going to bring people in, and it's going to be a good time. So this is one I highly, highly recommend. And if you only had one dexterity game, I could make a pretty good argument for Meeple Circus. Keeper for us.